women's soccer team broke a 3-game losing skid on Sunday, September 25th. The Lady Ravens won, notching a 2-0 victory on the road over Assumption College. Both senior Amanda Pinaro and senior Tori Geekus tallied for Franklin Pierce, with both goals coming within the final 5 minutes of regulation. Pinaro scored in the 86th minute to break the ice, and Geekus scored 2 minutes later, putting the game out of reach for Assumption. Since then, the women have gone a disappointing 2-4-1 with a 6-7-1 overall record with 3 games to go.
The way news has been delivered to society has changed dramatically over the past 10 to 20 years, but will it change even more in decades to come?
Well, that's always a good question, trying to predict the future. I think that we've probably come through the periods of greatest change right now, and it's simply a matter of the dust settling. What are we going to see in terms of social media's impact?
Social media and mobile networking has revolutionized how people can access news and information.
There's been an incredible shift to the web, an incredible shift. When I first started, people were focusing on traditional media, newspapers, the nighttime news. Today, people are saying if it's not on your Facebook page, you guys didn't cover it. We've had to post more, tweet more, and that has been the biggest change.
Technology is a huge influence on the news business in what is covered, how it's covered, and what we read and have access to.
According to a Pew Internet study, an average of 50 million Americans use Facebook every month, and 53% of all American adults get their news online today.
I usually read the news online because I'm always on my computer.
It's word of mouth probably, but a little bit of the internet.
I watch it on TV in the morning.
I have a BlackBerry and I usually just look up on the website.
I either listen to the news in the car on the radio, or I will go online on my BlackBerry.
A lot of people view change with suspicion, but it can be a great thing if you embrace it and work with it.
It doesn't matter how users can access the news, but if the public is actively updated, they can be confident in the news they receive. And this leads to the importance and impact of social media on the future of news.
Franklin Pierce University announced the addition of 3 new varsity sports teams for the next year. The announcement was made by President Dr. James Burge and Athletic Director Bruce Kirsch. The school is adding sprint football, track and field for both genders, and women's ice hockey. The teams are expected to be in competition for the 2012 school year. Kirsch said the addition of these new programs will allow Franklin Pierce to be marketed to a whole new demographic of students. They will help raise the visibility of the university. These 3 programs will join our current varsity teams as helping to bolster the pride throughout the campus community. This is the first time that football has been a part of the Franklin Pierce athletics. Sprint football differs from regular football as it has a set weight limit of 172 pounds. The other sports have previously had the opposite gender playing the sport at the school. Back to you guys at the desk.
The Franklin Pierce men's soccer team swept the Northeast 10 Championship Tournament this past week, defeating Stonehill 4-0 in the quarterfinals, Lemoyne 2-0 in the semifinals, and then Southern New Hampshire University 1-0 in the Northeast 10 Championship game to give them the crown for the 2nd straight season. Head coach Craig Stewart says it is just one more step before they reach their final goal.
I think overall this season, I don't think there was any easy game. I think everyone really gave us, there's a lot of tight games, a lot of overtime games. That's kind of the nature of the NE10. So I don't really think it was too easy. I think it was more kind of credit to the boys for their commitment to every game and focus to kind of try and win every game. In terms of the final, I think it was 2 good teams played each other. And I think it kind of cancelled each other out a little bit of a chess match. I also think playing 3 games in the space of 5 days kind of takes its toll on both groups. So it wasn't really the spectacle you might imagine, but I thought overall we deserved it. And it was obviously a good win.
senior Diego Tabarez was named the NE10 Player of the Year. When asked about the accomplishment, the senior was both proud yet humble.
It's a great accomplishment. I didn't expect it at all. I found that at practice, but when I heard, I felt like my team worked very hard all season, all year for me, and because of them I received the award.
The men's soccer team will now host the regionals for the NCAA Division II Championship.
The Iranian government has released Americans Shane Bauer and John Fatal from prison that has held them captive for the past 2 years. The two claimed they were innocent and on a hiking trip with friend Sarah Shord when they were taken and put in Iranian prison. The Iranian officials arrested them in 2009 when they walked across an unmarked border into Iraqi Kurdistan and charged the three as spies. Shord was released 3 years later on a $500,000 bail. Fatal and Bauer were sentenced to 8 years in prison last month, even with Washington denying the group was spies. President Barack Obama said on Wednesday they should never have been detained. Bauer said on being captive, "The only explanation for our prolonged detention is the 32 years of mutual hostility between America and Iran." Bauer added that they could not forgive the Iranian government as it continues to imprison other innocent people. Well, that's all we have for you this week. I'm AJ Berube, and thank you for tuning in to Franklin Pierce News.
And I'm Liz Squire. Have a great day.